Hi there. I think this is going to be short. I am running out of room on my phone. I've got to figure out something. So I want to get everything in today because I've had a really good day. A bunch of things finally, bam, came together. And that's great. And one of the ways that happened today was I got a brainstorm for an idea for directing my focus on the things that I really want, and keeping it in the front of your mind, because basically what Tony teaches you, and is absolutely true, what you focus on, you act on. You do have to act on it as well to make things come true, but if you're focusing on how bad your life is, you're going to get more of that. So I'm working on focusing on what I want, not what I'm just focusing on what I want. And one of the ways that I'm doing that is because I told you yesterday, I have a lot of trouble writing. So, although I have done writing for all of these things, and I will, but to make a shortcut for myself so that I can quickly, access the emotions and the reasons, because everything that you want in your life, there's actually reason for it. And if you really want it, there's always a why. There's always a why. And the things that I really want, I've clarified to myself what my whys are about that, and I'm trying to intensify my focus by reminding myself of that why every day. Anyway, so I've got this focus wall, and I've got, I just went to the dollar store. I bought 6 frames. They're, for regular headshots, like 10 by 8 by 10 or something like that, headshot size. They're for that, but actually they are bigger, but they would fit that kind of a headshot. So I've got them, and they're about that big with a gold frame. And what I did was I went and I got some sparkly paper, not unlike this. Sparkly, sparkly. And although I didn't use that pink. And I have a different one of these frames with that sparkly paper in it for each one of the things that I am reminding myself on a daily basis that I want to go after. So I have a light pink one, and that's for my Mary Kay. I have orange, and that's for my own self stuff. And in that is my ability to focus on things. Tony talks a lot about what he calls a triad, which is it is all about focus, but there are 3 parts of it. One's your physiology, with like what you do physically. Another is what you decide to focus on in your mind. And the third is language. And those 3 things make up the triad, and it helps you like focus. Well, one of the things that happened to me before when I did the Tony Robbins stuff is I really used the physical to guide the rest of it. And it absolutely can. However, when I started having trouble or potentially couldn't count on my physical self, I started to have a bit of a buckling of my certainty about how I could do it. So what I'm really focusing now in my own self-development, which is that orange section, is working on the other 2 things. I absolutely conquered the physical thing before. I did. I will do it to the best of my ability again. But I am not going to have another time when things just fall apart because I don't have anything else to do besides go out and do something physical. I have to be able to use my mind. I have to be able to use my words and that kind of stuff. Okay, so in that triad. And then, of course, I've got a section that's gold, that's money, which actually that kind of goes over on the pink too. And it also goes over on the green section, which is the next section, and that has to do with the aquaponics and my microfarm that I'm doing in the backyard. And then I've got a section blue, that's for home, that has to do with the running of the house and the everyday stuff. And then I have, the last section is purple, and that's for mom. And of course it's royal purple. And I have a little panic button that I'm working on for each one of them. And that's like when the shit hits the fan in your life, every once in a while, all of the things that you plan out, sometimes it all gets tossed up in the air. You know, it's just life. So I want to have like one thing I can focus on no matter what is coming. Like, in other words, if I can just do this one thing, I've kept my commitment to myself, and I kept that in focus. And I think that's going to be really, you know, if say I have a whole MS thing come up, that could be really important. Okay, so anyway, and I'll talk about the panic buttons a little bit more in depth another day. But what I'm finding is that the colors themselves this morning, I was kind of beating myself up because I didn't have anything written. But what I found is that actually I've done enough of the writing that I've kind of internalized what those emotions are that are driving my... Because emotions drive your desire to act on things. Okay, so I've already kind of clarified what my emotions are on most of these things. So, I took 5 minutes before my walk in the morning, looked at those, clarified in my head what those were, got out the door, went on my walk, did all the incantations and all that stuff. But it really helped my day go. And today I didn't miss anything that I had planned to do. There have been other days that I have missed. So, and I'm still a work in progress. It's still not perfect, but boy, suddenly I feel like I've kind of got the bit between my teeth. I feel like I understand it's exactly what I was looking for. I was exactly looking for this way to have a schedule, but the way to have a super flexible, which I often really need. It needs to be super flexible. It just does. So, anyway, so it's all color-coded, which any of you that already know me know I love my color coding. I'm such an office geek. I love it. Anyway, so, and then, so I've got a lot of different things, but how that applies, let's say I've got, make mom breakfast. Like, that's one of the ways I show her love every day, is I make her breakfast. And one of the things that Tony has you do is, instead of doing a to-do list, like, okay, making breakfast could be on my to-do list. But the thing with a to-do list, and he says this really clearly in his thing, that in his tape series, and he says it often, is the thing about to-do lists is that nobody associates good feelings with them. You just don't. So what you have to do is, like, make the to-do list secondary, because what you really want is to make that person happy, or whatever that is, you know. Excuse me, I've got to dismiss this little alarm. Okay. Anyway, so that's really your purpose. And when you put that on top of it, every to-do that you have, it just flows, instead of being like, okay, now I've got to do this because I decided that that's really important to me, and da-da-da-da-da. No, that's not where I am with that. I'm making breakfast because I'm showing my mommy love. And, you know, so it like turns it on its head in a very good way. And that's what I am so glad I found this and figured out this system for myself. And it takes out the thing that's hard for me, which is writing a lot. It's painful because of my MS, a lot of other things. But anyway, I'm just really excited about it. And that's it. So I got my stuff done today. And and one of the things, like doing guitar practice, falls under my orange category, which is self-development and all of that stuff. So, and a lot of them actually have more than one place, like the money stuff, you know, that's Mary Kay and my aquaponics in the garden. But it's also money stuff. So anyway, and eventually I'll get back into investments and that kind of stuff. I'll need at least $1,000 to start that out, but I can do it. Anyway, so, all right, that's it for today. I hope you all have a good night. I'm so grateful. Even though I lost $120 yesterday, yes, I'm still feeling that right on the chin. But even though I lost that money, I feel like I got like I said, the bit between my teeth, and I'm really excited about that and the prospect of that. So y'all have a great night. Take care.